What's going on, y'all? January 1st still, New Year's Wednesday, 2025. Happy New Year's once more. So, I'm a gang stalking victim, as some of you guys are aware. Please research. I give you the website, that tells you everything, explains everything better than I can, called targetedjustice.com. It takes 5 minutes to go on the website and aware yourself of what's happening in today's world. And did you know, in the US of A, Nazis were brought to this nation, that when we were enemies of, Nazis, and is it hard to believe? I understand it's hard to believe, but hey, do a quick Google search and type in Werner von Braun, where he's buried at, Alexandria, Virginia. And if you don't want to do that, you remember the Al-Qaeda, when they were teaming up with the US Army, basically, I think, a few years back? So it's not hard to believe when you see the history and this kind of nonsense. Some I don't know what their big picture is of the Americans that are in power, but this is just insane in my opinion. Not just because I'm a victim at it, especially, but this kind of those kind of crazies basically to be working alongside with us, and then experimenting on people like me basically. And like I've said many times, I think they target mostly women and children. And if I'm a guy that went through the army, gung-ho or whatever, 5 foot 800 pounds with depression and whatnot, and still overcame it and all that due to my perseverance and whatever, as a guy, I am exhausted. I'm defeated basically, guys. I believe in Jesus and all that and all these, and I still carry the weight with me. I try to fight the good fight and defeat, Satan basically, obviously, forever, obviously. But I am defeated from mind control. It is literally control of your mind. How do you overcome that? Unless God literally, divine intervention happens, or, angels or God or something like that, And this is so tiring. So let me tell you what's happening. Let me spit out my dip real quick, or my... So, this is what happens with me. I see, for example, I'm a religious person, so this mind control, they do that to especially religious people like me, I'm a Christian, so what are they going to do? They're going to make you see Jesus's and Jehovah. Jehovah is the father of Jesus, basically, and they will make them come to life. And then the tricky part is to see if they're really good or bad, because they could be actually the bad guys, you know what I mean? Obviously. And then so what I've been seeing, one example that is, I would see Jehovah, right? Jesus' dad, like I said earlier. He would appear on purpose into my brain, and I would see him, right? And who's sending him? My copies of my mother. So I've already explained it numerous times in my previous videos. My mother, my senior mom, basically, she is perverting me. Not she is intentionally. I honestly doubt, but I am perverted with her basically in my mind, and it drives me insane, And then so that's one small little cycle that I've seen. I don't know the entire big picture of the entirety of the the what do you call it, the domino effect or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like who's causing who and what is happening to what. You get what I mean? Like my mom is bringing the Jehovah character into my brain when I'm irritated, and then I would be irritated like a normal human when his image is in my mind, and it would attack him basically, and then he would attack my mom because knowing that basically, and then she's there's a senior innocent person, possibly. You get what I mean? Possibly, because I don't know. I would hope that she is. And just now, I just said I would hope that she is, and I just saw her looking at me like all tormented and like getting, killed, basically. That kind of wickedness. You get what I'm saying? That's the kind of evil that I've been seeing so much of, and it's just so tiring. I'm just so tired. I just want to just let it, like a normal human, you just see it, you just let it happen, It Jehovah or Jesus or mom or whoever. Long as long as you don't act upon it, you know what I mean? That's human life. Long as you don't act upon it, you can think however you want. We have bad days and good days, like everybody basically, you know. When you have those bad days, we're gonna think negatively. You can't be like, you know, like God basically, where He's good all the time and knows how to handle that in a different way, obviously. But you get what I mean, right? Like we're gonna have these like thought processes, and it's totally normal. I know that. But the problem is I see them when it's all quiet, when I'm on my own, and then like they will be like getting attacked and they will look super real, like they're in so much pain because I thought negatively of them. And then I just be like, man, like what am I supposed to do? I can't keep on thinking and thinking and thinking like some whatever those kind of people are that are normally like that. I'm mostly kind of if I knew psychology terms, but you know what I mean, like a normal person basically. So anyways, guys, this is what I like to vlog about after the Mayfair, MALL, as I can't say it due to my pops around, but at this age of 35 especially. But anyways, what was I trying to say? Yes, so I just called 988, the crisis line, basically, for suicide or not. And I talked with somebody named Paul, and he heard what I had to say, which is really useful. Somebody else hearing what I gotta say, which is why I'm vlogging, so audience can hear what I'm saying and leave feedback or something useful. That can help me, or at least support me or something like that. This is the reason why I vlog basically and talk about these things called gang stalking. So I've already discussed that Werner von Braun is buried in Alexandria, Virginia, Al-Qaeda. We already talked about that, and what else is there? So much more basically that I could only imagine. I remember years ago I literally went to an FBI building because I was trying to inform them that I'm being stalked and tormented basically, when possibly the goons from the FBI were the ones that are doing it to me. I truly doubt the desk guys, basically the front desk guys that check the IDs when people go in the building of FBI buildings and whatnot, were the ones doing that to me. Obviously I doubt, but I visited that building years ago. I reported to IC3.gov. I've done everything you're supposed to do, literally. I, voted for Trump. I was hoping that he would end this kind of nonsense, obviously. I voted for, this time, JFK's family member that dropped out, and I don't know why he was on the ballot or whatever the heck it's called, And, yeah, I'm a liberal Christian, basically. Just tortured, just tired of it, fed up, of all this nonsense. Whew. I wish I can talk to the right people. I know, only one thing that I haven't done, honestly. The only one thing that I haven't done is write letters to the appropriate people of Congress or whoever. But I emailed people, I think, if I remember, because due to ECT, my memory is not that well at the moment. But I've done literally 99% of what you're supposed to do. IC3.gov, Congress or whatever. What else is there? targetedjustice.com, basically the main website that tells you all these things with intelligence agents and doctors and all these very intelligent people. And so yeah, this, my friends, is bad in the US, right? But thankfully we have mental hospitals and VA hospitals to help you. 988, Vets for Warriors phone hotline and whatnot that I've been using, every one of them basically. I'm sure South Korea has something similar to this. I just don't know about it because I'm an American and I don't really know much about other nations, what they have basically. They obviously have mental hospitals too and whatnot. But it just kind of you gotta put some work in to pay for the bills and whatnot if you're outside of South Korea, utilizing hospitals and whatever. For example, mental hospitals that I was involuntarily sent way later, instead of maybe a week of torture, and then they see that I needed help basically, but instead of way later, like months later, my parents signed a form or something and contacted the mental hospital in Korea, And then apparently with Korean mental hospitals, your parents need to sign you off apparently for you to be sent to the mental hospital, which is really strange, you know? Instead, when you need help, you know, this is another, you know, I'm not too worried about that, you know. It already happened, but I'm just saying I thought it was kind of strange that you need both parents to sign you off to go to a mental hospital instead of just, you know, going in to get help, basically, is somewhat how I remember it. So anyways, whew. So, yeah, I would see these people. I'll see my mom especially. I'll see Batman, the fictional character. I'll see, it's not fictional in this world, basically non-fiction, I would say. Pretty real to me now, you know. And Yahweh character as well, AI. All of them AI, basically, but real in a sense. And they will be really tortured or something because I think negatively of them or something to it. And then they would, you know, and I'll feel horrible, you know, and I have to change my thoughts. I have to think a certain way for them to feel at ease and whatnot. It's ridiculous, you know? Like, what is this? I'm not a robot. I'm not some kind of, you know, some kind of elite, some being that lives like this and gets paid a lot of money or something to it, you know? I'm just a student at college. I don't do anything. I just make vlogs of YouTube and do ASMR, for crying out loud, you know? No disrespect to the ASMR community for me saying it that way, but you get what I'm saying. I'm just so frustrated. I'm just a student. I'm gonna be a librarian of all things, you know, nothing like intelligent agents or Secret Service or, you know what I mean, or business consultant or something big like that, you know, or high speed like that. You get what I mean? I'm just gonna be in a quiet place in the library with many books, bunch of books, basically, helping out, you know, people that, you know, visit the library and check out books. That's all I'm gonna be doing for 30 some years, you know. At least 30 years is my life, basically. This is what ChatGPT said. If you're a TI or a schizophrenic, librarian is one of the best. As boring as it might be, possibly, you know. I don't know how it is in the life as a librarian yet, but, you know, I've been to libraries since I was a kid, and it's pretty quiet and boring, you know, just a bunch of books and computers, you know. Not much to really do there. But I don't know. Maybe there is some stuff to do. Hopefully that's the case, and I'll be busy and happy. I'm sure that will be it, because I believe in Jesus, and I've been tortured for 10 years, and if ChatGPT by Elon Musk, that's pretty accurate with the findings of things, you know. I should be good to go, basically. I would hope and think. So anyways, yeah. What else is there? What else is there to talk about or share or enlighten or, you know, in this beautiful New Year's of Nazi loving imbeciles here in the U.S. At least I'm not gonna talk about other nations because we already are dealing with enough in my own nation here. Yeah. Whew. Let me just put it this way. It could be you. It could be you anytime, any place. So get with the program. Visit targetedjustice.com and set yourself up for success, you know. Don't be, you know, becoming a TI later on and you know, just be struggling like me, because I didn't know, basically, you know, at first for years. I've done all the homework for you guys. Visit targetedjustice.com and just aware yourself and surround yourself with good, positive people. What helps me is church people, military people, VA people, basically. You know, get a therapist, 988, Vets for Warriors hotline as well, and all these beautiful things that are there in case this kind of nonsense exists, basically, sadly. And, you know, it helps, at least. It helps tremendously, in my opinion. You know, it grounds you and whatnot, you know, so, yeah, it sucks. I wish there was like an all, you know, button that just all the way kind of thing, you know what I mean? But we don't have that, or not that we don't have it. I don't know if we do have it or not, but I've never seen it, you know. I'm tortured a day in and day out, basically. Oh my God, I gotta tell you guys this story. When I was in the VA, suicidal due to this torment, basically, I was like sitting down still, basically waiting for me to be sent to the inpatient hospital, and then like the place. How do I explain this? It was so insane. It was insane and epic at the same time. Like what I was like hallucinating of, basically, or on purpose witnessing from the mind control, you know. So truly, I remember something with the I can't remember what the other things, so I can't really say. But when I was in the hospital, I was sitting down and waiting, right? And then like in front of me, I would see my mom again, once again, like I already explained, and like other family members, and they'll be performing surgery, like for me to be sent to the mental hospital, basically. Like this kind of process needs to happen for me to be admitted, basically, or some nonsense, you know. Like I will be seeing what was it exactly? It was so insane. It was epic at the same time. Like they were performing surgery it's a hospital, so it's the right place, but not a surgical hospital place, you know. It's the VA, you know, where it's not like that, you know. For the people that know what I'm talking about, the military hospital, basically. For the inpatient mental hospital is what I'm talking about. You know, you don't have surgery or anything like that to go to the hospital, but in that waiting place, they were performing surgery. My mom and other people is what I remember. Through other people's bodies is what I see all the time. This kind of nonsense, you know. And they were performing surgery. I was like, what is happening? Like, how do I explain it though? It's not the part that obviously is weird with the surgery part, but there's something specific to it that makes it even more strange and more crazy and epic, basically. What else is there? There's so much stuff that I hallucinated. I wish I could explain it in perfect detail that I witnessed, you know. Another time with the in a hospital. This time not the VA, not the military, but a private hospital, basically, right? So I'm sitting down, waiting to be sent to the mental hospital, basically, again. And I'm just kind of like frozen due to all this trauma and all this anxiety and all this insanity, right? And then like this like black Jesus or something, not black Jesus, but black God. He's like a kid or something, right? And like he's like appearing, and like he's like near me because I believe in Jesus, basically, and Yahweh. So they play with that kind of religion game, you know. And then I was like, whatever, it just looks like a kid and whatever, it's just whatever, you know. I just, you know, ignored it and just, you know, whatever, you know. And then like there's this other black kid that appeared, like some kind of like very how do I explain it? Very someone that would adopt a black kid, basically. That's straight out of like where would it be? Like a jungle or something to it. And then like he was there, right? And then like the white people, basically, is what I maybe remember, if I'm correctly, would you know, signal to the black kid, basically, to find bodies, basically, so that way they can you know, use those bodies for you know, surgery, basically, to use it for blood and all that kind of stuff. You get what I'm saying? That kind of, you know, stuff that happened in history as well. I'm sure in Korea they had that stuff too, and whatnot. And I'm like, why the hell am I seeing this kind of stuff, you know? I'm like, but it's not just why the hell am I seeing that kind of stuff though only, but it was scary though, you get what I mean? It was just so many things that were out of norm, you know, that were happening. Like that's part of the gang stalking, is what I wanted to share with you guys. And how do you overcome it? You just ignore it, you know, just ignore it and play on your phone or whatever, and then let the time go by and let those idiots, you know, show those things around. If you're like me though, I was kind of fascinated and I was just kind of, you know, watching and stuff, but you know, it was just crazy. I don't know. I don't know what it means, this whole picture, basically, of these things that have happened to, you know, me, basically, and people around. Those people were not affected. There's no way they would be going through something like I was, is my guess, most likely. They would not be able to handle it, their hearts or whatnot, It's just too much. Another time, this time a motel. There's something with this program with the cigarettes is very addicting, right? They would burn you basically while you're smoking a cigarette, and you're so addicted to it that you still smoke. That's what I did basically, and they scare the crap out of you from smoking cigarettes. Is another combo basically of what I went through, and then they will like burn you and give you anxiety, and then they still let you smoke cigarettes if you're gonna smoke it. That's what happened. And then in the motel, what happened was I was laying down, right? And then this kind of epic stuff, like these perps or whatever, I don't know if it's all perps that are doing this to me. I don't know if good guys would ever do this stuff to you, make you see things like that. Or, test on you is what I meant. And make you see stuff is what I mean, I don't think good guys would ever do those things. I don't think they should. Not, even if it's safe, I believe that you gotta give consent for those things to happen, So most likely it was the perps that was making me see these things, is my guess. But anyways, so I was in a motel in Virginia. I was laying down in the bed, all like scary, like the colors all red of the walls and stuff like that, and just feels just eerie basically. Same as the motels in Korea that I was in, right? And then the cigarettes make it real scary, It makes the environment all hot and like satanic kind of eerie feels and all kinds of stuff, right? And then so I'm just like paranoid, scared, and just suicidal and just fucking fed up and tired of all this nonsense. And so I lay down on the bed, try to get some sleep basically to, feel better from all this anxiety and all this tiring and all that stuff, right? And then this Korean like show, I don't know what it is, where the Korean people, there's like it's called Kishin basically, like Korean ghosts with like long hair basically, like The Grudge or something like that, Not The Grudge, I meant The Ring, that movie that some of you know what I'm talking about. Those kind of figures basically, they will be wearing all white, and they'll be walking in the background really fast and whatnot. They will make me see that in a way to enjoy, that kind of, stuff basically. And I will hear the audience like clapping and like ah, you know what I mean? From like seeing it. I will see that literally, that kind of, insanity. I'm like, the hell? I mean, it was cool, but you get what I mean? I still don't want to see without me giving you consent, consent I meant, That's what happened another time in a motel. Oh yes, and it doesn't end there. That same motel, I'm trying to sleep once more, and I see my mom once again, and she's like testing on me. It was my grandpa too, I think possibly. They were testing on me on something where electrocution, that kind of stuff was going on, where they could shock you, on the bed, and then like something with the electricity, So that kind of nonsense is what I experienced. I'm not unable to explain it for you guys to clearly see what I exactly mean, but anyways, that's another thing that happened. I don't know, I just saw an airplane. I don't know what that means from this light just now. This that little light, I just saw an airplane on there, and they just said I'm made or some nonsense. I don't know what it means for a sense, maybe, I hope. So anyways, another time, and this is the most tormenting times when you cannot sleep, this is when they do these things to you. They make you see these things, I mean, how do I explain it? It kind of helps to pass the time instead of being all anxious and eerie and like heat on the body kind of feels, But I still don't want to see that stuff, I don't want to see anything. I just want the motel to be quiet. I want to enjoy my cigarettes. I want to sleep, wake up, get some energy, get some food, watch some TV, kind of calm down and relax. You get what I mean? I don't want to see these things, that are whatever popular in Korea or Japan or China or Russia or US or anywhere. You get what I mean? I don't care. I don't care for that stuff. If I did, I look it online and then experience it somehow. Get a ticket and go to their actual shows or something like that. You get what I'm saying? Something to it. I mean, how do I explain it? Okay. I hated it and also enjoyed it at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. I'll just leave it at that. But anyways, so as I was sleeping, I'm explaining things pretty badly, probably. But as I was sleeping, right? The right brain is like for artsy, or left brain is for math or something like that, or maybe vice versa possibly. I would see arts like so vivid. It's like literally like Picasso or whatever artists, that are really famous and really amazing at drawing, It will be so real. Like, I guess that's what schizophrenics go through, maybe, or I don't know. I know something with schizophrenics. We have some kind of something good, that we have basically. But anyways, so I'm sleeping, and then I'm trying to sleep. I meant not sleeping. I'm trying to sleep, and I'll see these artsy like characters. Like, I'm in a dream state, but I'm able to control it, and like it's like a game or something, And like I will see like Naruto characters and like all kinds of stuff in my brain while I'm trying to sleep. And then, they will be like fighting to the death or some nonsense or some kind of insanity is what I remember. And like, it just, it feels like a very expensive, program that you will pay to see these things, normally in a safer way like that, right? Instead of how I was, without my consent and all these things forcibly seen while trying to sleep, That's another thing. Okay, and also and many more, just so many more, all kinds of eerie, all kinds of nonsense. I survived it all, man. King David has nothing on me, honestly, or Moses or Job. I went through literally the most retarded nonsense in human history. In America, basically. As a Korean American Christian, college student, veteran too, but just too much. A little E4 of all ranks, nothing too high or anything high rank. That is, E4 is the lowest of the enlisted, basically, right below a sergeant. That's my stats. I'm a nobody, and they did this much to me. Maybe because I'm a nobody. And you know what Dr. Robert Duncan said? He said these things are impossible to defeat. So like, what do I gotta say now when somebody like Dr. Robert Duncan, that creative voice of God weapons, that went to Harvard, that went to the CIA, says something like those kind of statements, Like, when they say something like that, what does a guy like me, that's a little E4, that didn't even graduate from college yet, that goes to a community college right now and struggling and fighting the battle with Jesus, basically, against Satan and whatnot, as they probably murdered my grandma this morning, with her organs, not, feeling, not feeling, but, how do you explain it? Basically, damaging it, So, when I think about that kind of statement from somebody powerful, or somebody that's been in a powerful organization, at least is what I meant, that actually, created and invented voice of God weapons that makes me hear your voices right now, or not the audience voices I meant, but these voices that I hear. I don't hear my own voice, basically. I hear different people's voices, That's voice of God, that's my guess, So, when a guy like that says that, what the hell can I do? When I think about that, all I want to do is buy a bag of Doritos or nachos, get some cheese, put on my PlayStation 4 or Xbox whatever, Xbox S or whatever the hell it's called, and just put on some Call of Duty or something, or some fun game like that, and just let the hours go by, and then just be like, you know what? Fuck this nonsense. USA, you need to wake the fuck up. A little small guy like me, a E4, saying all this stuff, you should be embarrassed and, and do something about this kind of situation, It is my kind of a advice, basically, too, if you're going through something like I am. Buy a gaming device or something, put on the TV screen, get some chips and some snacks, some chocolate or candies or coffee or chocolate milk or whatever, that makes you feel good, basically. Or get some good food like fried chicken or maybe, or something like that. You get what I mean? And then just focus on that video game, or watch a funny movie or something, and go for a walk or something eventually, and listen to music. That's how I've been living, basically, when the school is not operating, or when the church is not on Sundays, basically. You get what I mean? Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, I know. It could be you. It could be you. It could be you. It could be any one of you. Especially women are attacked for perverted reasons. And I wish, God would do something about this already, Whew. A lot of mouthful that I said today. Anyways, yeah, I feel better now. Talking with 988 and vlogging and yeah, I went through too much, man. I don't know what they saw in me or see in me that they did this much to me and made these kind of programs to make me see these kind of epic stuff too, in a sense, if that kind of makes sense, and that train of thought there, or word of train, or whatever the hell it's called. Whew. Today I was driving and there was like a magician on the board, basically, or whatever you call it. There's like the signs, basically, the big signs, that you pay like 20 grand to put up your advertising or something to it, possibly, or whatever, how much money it is, I don't really know. But they say something about magic, and then the voice of God is like, this is magic. And then like something was happening, right? Something was happening from my left to the right side, and then the Yahweh AI was like really mad, and he's like, you cannot like magic, Daniel, basically. And well, you know what happened? That magic was basically white magic, is my guess. I felt so good. I felt like at peace, basically. I was like, oh, and then the Yahweh or the Jehovah, the stone god AI, if he didn't know what was really happening, they're telling me he didn't know. So okay, I thought he did. That's strange. But anyways, that's what happened. Yeah. I'm a sinner. We're all sinners. You know what I mean? I'm not saying because we're sinners we should do bad things and defy God when he says, don't like magic and whatnot, But hey, I am, first of all, I don't know the Bible entirely, like front and back, like literally know it from word to word, every little detail, Maybe white magic is understandable from God's point of view, maybe. Because white magic, which what I know is healing, basically. It's not really that bad, possibly, So, anyways. Yeah, just, lot has happened. Oh man, this journey of my life, really. Just, TV people talking through and signaling me and sending like messages into my mind. Radio, pictures, images, AIs, all kinds of stuff. I don't know what this meant. This was in Korea once again. It was in apartment, Shindo apartment that I lived in Namyangju. Namyangju. I don't know why my voice is like being controlled, or my mouth, I meant. It won't let me speak Korean the way it's supposed to be. Namyangju, there we go. So with that being said, the apartment that was in with my grandma, right, Shindo apartment, it was a pretty nice apartment. I liked the bed and everything, and the room and whatever. And so, what was my story? Something with the apartment. A lot of stuff I've seen there. especially in Korea, has the most churches compared to the other nations in the world, basically, if I'm right with that. So, you know, and apparently Korean people have very spiritual, you know, spiritual kind of, you know, spirituality is pretty, you know, spikes basically, or something like that, apparently, with Korean people, which is a good thing, obviously. That means we're strong in faith, you know, or something to it. I'm Korean, but I live in America, you know. But anyways, when I was living in Korea in Shindo apartment, what was the story? I'm trying to remember. Yes, I was mental basically, and I one time when my grandmother was alive, rest in peace, Grandma. Hope you're happy in heaven right now, or if that's how it works. That is, if you die and go to heaven straight away, or you know, I'm not sure how it works. But anyways, so I was living with my grandma, and I was being a very bad person basically. You know, not too bad, but kind of bad, you know. So I would cook, you know, breakfast and lunch and dinner for grandma, basically, including myself. At least breakfast is what I remember, if I'm remembering correctly, due to the ECT again. But I would smoke cigarettes in the house, and she would hate it, obviously, because it stinks and it's not good, you know. And I was just so mental. I was just like zero fucks, basically, you know. I just had it enough, you know. Your heart wants to blast people, basically, you know, or just maul people to death because of constant aggravation, you know. It's just driving you insane. You want to get a knife and stab somebody constantly, you know. This is what gang stalking mind control does. I'm not a crazy person, but I was in a sense due to mind control. And then, you know, when that happened, you know, I still had excellent self-control, so I didn't go out and stab somebody to death, or you get the picture here. And then so I started smoking cigarettes in the house, not who I am normally, you know. I would never do that, especially in front of an elder, you know. That's disrespect in Korea, especially, or America too, obviously, you know. We don't do that kind of stuff. And then, so I smoked the cigarettes, and my grandma's like, you know, cut that out. You're smoking, you know, in the house is making it, you know, bad, you know, the smell and whatnot. And I would not listen to her, and I just kept smoking, you know. And then one other time, I was so freaking aggravated due to the gang stalking mind control. I literally, my grandma's face was like right here, and like my face is like right there, you know, where I'm talking right now. And I was just raging at her face, basically. I was just raging. It was not me, you know. I like yelled at her so badly. Thankfully, it was all okay, you know, because her heart is weak, you know, and that's what happened, you know, just this makes, you know, the evil out of anybody, basically. And I got choked by a Crip gangster in a mental hospital that bench pressed apparently 300 pounds. I had a gun pointed at me by a sergeant first class in Tennessee. I got stomped over. I got ran over, then stomped on, basically, in a mental hospital. I got pushed, shoved, middle finger on my left hand, bitten, basically, like a little freaking mole rat or some nonsense. That's just too much, you know. And I'm alive to share this experience and everything that I've gone through and see with the world on YouTube. I hope, you know, this gets many views, and I hope you guys listen to what I gotta say, that I've been saying, basically, to change what's happening in this nation called the US of A. We need to stand up and say what needs to be said, and change the things that are, you know, that should be changed. Otherwise, there's going to be homicides all the time and all kinds of BS, basically, you know? And you think, oh, it's just a bad guy, you know? You don't know why they're bad. Because of mind control, basically. It could be, is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say about all these things about all the bad people in the US or in the world, you know? So anyways, yeah. Just, I would be hallucinating as usual in the Shindo apartment. I'm grateful for my grandmother that kept up with me and still, loved me for who I was, no matter how I treated her and whatnot. Same as my aunt and family, basically. I wish, I was successful already, so I could, repay my debts in a sense, or you get what I mean, yeah. And so, anyways, this is Shindo apartment again, and Tekken characters this time. This big guy, I forgot his name. He's like a wrestler, maybe. Not Jin Kazama, not King, not Law, not Hwarang, not Devil Jin, not Kazama, not Haichi or whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. He's a big, wrestler, American, I think. And then I bought a boxing, what do you call it? Boxing, the thing, punching bag, there you go. I bought a punching bag from Coupon. I was just shopping. I was just buying whatever I wanted, basically from Coupon, because I was just going crazy. I needed things that make me feel good, to ease the suffering, basically, was my idea, basically. And so anyways, with that being said, I bought a punching bag. I try to hook it up onto the door, the thingy, the doors, what do you call it, the side or whatever, not the side, but the door, I don't know how to explain it. The door, basically, when you enter the room, when you push the door, and then there's like a opening, basically, where you can, hook in the punching bag, basically. I tried to put it up there, but it wouldn't work, I think. It's what I remember. Or maybe it did, actually, because I remember punching it, and my grandma was, saying it was too loud or something like that once more. And so, that's what I remember as well. What other stuff were there? I remember years ago when I visited Korea, the drive with my dad. This was like maybe 14, 15, or 16 or something like that, right? So we get out of the Incheon airport, ICN basically, the international airport in Korea. And then we get on a taxi or whatever to go to Namyangju or wherever we went to. While we're in the taxi, the V2K is constantly saying, just stop. Stop what? I'm vlogging here. What do you want me to stop? I don't understand. Gosh. So anyways, with that being said, they, so with that being said, this driver in Korea, he was like telling my dad and me, you should not go anywhere, basically. I'm like, what does that mean, And that's what happened, I doubt that he was a gang stalker, but those kind of like words and all those kind of weird, situations were happening. And so that's what happened. And then what else was there with Korea, with my dad from Shindo apartment, from the taxi, with the guy saying that. Oh yes, so when I saw my grandma after the trauma, so this is like literally the most wicked, insane, satanic binding of wickedness I have experienced in my 35 years of life. I lived with my dad back then in a city called Lombard in Illinois, due to me being active in the KCPC church, right? And then I went to the mental hospital. And then they put me on haloperidol or whatever, and then I was like having a heart attack basically from the medicine not working with me basically when I came to Illinois on that medicine, right? And then that's when the gang stalking happened. When I was living with my dad in Illinois in Lombard, that's when in Virginia it was lightly happening, but like things were feeling good though. I don't know how to really explain it. Like, gang stalking was still happening, like the lights and whatnot and whatever. But, like, people around me were all cheery and happy. And, like, a lot of love and whatnot. And then when I went to Illinois and Lombard, that's when it all just shattered, basically, the wickedness. So maybe I am getting something here, but let me finish my story first. So when I went to Illinois Lombard, the bindings, the worst kind of satanic bindings I've ever experienced. I was literally a vegetable in that house in Lombard. I was seeing like my mom constantly, and my dad and whatnot, and just my mom not living with us though. The thing in my AI nonsense, perverting and all kinds of disgusting crap, basically. And then what else is there? I just I couldn't leave. Like the house that I was living with my dad, the binding was so bad, and like something was causing so much stress to me, so much evil, Like I wanted to just go out and just blow something up, if that makes sense. So some of you guys, a few of the trolls and the perps are gonna see my videos and they're gonna say, "Oh my God, you want to blow up or stab somebody to death?" I did, yeah, I wanted to, but hey, you know what I'm saying? I have self-control. I take my medicine now. I talk to therapists. I talk to doctors, and you can shove it up your ass, basically. That's all I gotta say. So, anyways, with that being said, though, I finally, after a year or so living with my pops in Lombard, while it was so disgusting and evil and why do I say that? It was the beginning stages of gang stalking, like things that you don't understand were happening. So I'm like, what's happening? I'm getting scared, I'm getting anxious, and constantly people are coming at me and like all kinds of stuff, like seeing my mom everywhere, kind of BS and all kinds of nonsense all over, and then like not having the freedom living with my dad, basically. Like I'm living here, I have a curfew and all that kind of stuff, basically. You get what I'm saying? So that's what happened. And then thankfully, somehow with all my willpower and everything I had, I finally got up and left Illinois and drove back to Virginia. Went to EOS 21 where they accepted my $800 a month income that I made from the VA, from the GI, or not the GI Bill, the VA I meant. And then somehow, I think, because I had like $20,000 saved basically for being, a vegetable living with my dad in Lombard, for a year. So I had like $20,000 saved or something like that, 800 times 12, whatever the math is, something like that basically. And so that I remember, man, that was the worst situation in my life. That was the scariest, the worst, just disgusting, I was just freaking out, I wish somebody would tell me mind control exists, Daniel. Targetedjustice.com, targetedjustice.com, and explain these things. Then I would have been like, oh, so I'm a TI, and this kind of stuff is happening. So knowing is half the battle is what we say in the army, So I would have been like, but I didn't know. Just a sitting duck, even though I'm a sitting duck still today, but I know from experience in targetedjustice.com, So now I don't, sit down and stay as a vegetable, basically, if that makes sense. Whew, a lot of stuff I've said here. So anyways, that's what happened with Lombard, and then Virginia EOS 21, and then eventually one of them, Braun. I learned about one Nazi that was buried in Alexandria, the same city. I visited his grave with my PC cap from the army, and I took a selfie there in his grave with the little Germany flag. And then I posted on Facebook a few years ago, or several years ago, and that was it with that story. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why my mom, it looks like my mom has Bruce Wayne or something, was like raging. Apparently because I'm losing, because I took a selfie with Werner von Braun with my army PC cap. It means basically the U.S. Army brought him in. I'm not saying I support the lunatic, the Nazi that is, I meant. If that's what's going on with this mind control. I have to constantly correct and explain things because of the AI. I just want to ignore it all, It doesn't really matter. They tell me I win. I don't really win anything, nor do I lose anything, honestly. It's the same BS. It's just a mind game, basically, It's just a mind game that you get looped into, and that's it. I just want to live my life, like I said, put on my Xbox, put some Call of Duty, put my headset on, get some chips and Korean tteokbokki or whatever, rice cake basically, I think that's what it's called, maybe, or whatever, spicy rice cake or whatever it is, and just put some music on with my, stereo, and play some Xbox game with some buddies online from, and just let the time go, and then this stuff kind of goes away and bothers, other people basically, sadly. So anyways, yeah, a lot more stories I have. I gotta tell you guys this. There's a park called Burke Lake Park in Virginia. You know what I did there? I literally sat down still for like 10 plus hours. I literally sat down like a monk or something. I don't know if monks do that, but like a statue basically. Just still sitting down, looking at the waters basically. And I was hallucinating, seeing all kinds of nonsense. And apparently, due to this mind control, I married not a Polish woman, but a Swedish woman or something like that. And her dad was somebody that worked for some American company, but he she hated America because Americans did something bad to her dad or something like that. But I married her because she was beautiful, basically. AI once again, and then that Guajardo, disgusting imbecile, for some reason, Guajardo, but he was there, and he was inside her cell, basically. Like, this kind of, all kinds of stuff, guys. There's all kinds of lunacy. So anyways, that's what happened. And they were like, Daniel, you're going to win the keys, basically. We're going to give you the keys. You're going to have a mansion or a house or something like that, and cars and all kinds of stuff. You just gotta wait a little bit longer. And when I was in Berkeley Park as a statue, basically, and I was gullible and I believed it. Nor did I had anywhere else to go, honestly. But I don't know why I was so still though. Maybe because of trauma or something. That was another time that was scary. Just man, mind control, guys. I really wonder if I'm really here in Illinois right now with my dad and everything. Because mind control is mind control, Like, how do you know? You get what I'm saying? My logic to that is just ignore it. If you see the way it is, then just go with it, and let your 40 years or whatever years that you have remaining on this earth, live it out as best you can, and then rest in peace, basically. That's just the way to go at the moment, if that makes sense. And obviously write letters to Congress or whoever, and IC3 Gov and whatever, all these things. And keep trying, basically. That's the only thing I got to say from, I hope I didn't scare anybody, but this is reality. This is what's happening. This is what happened to me. I hope if it scares you, then tell your parents or somebody and do something about it, There's a community of target individuals like me, and doctors and intelligence agencies and all kinds of people that support you, basically, if you're a TI like me. And that we meet once a week, not week, I meant once a month or something like that. We have phone calls and all that. We have all kinds of stuff. Just visit targetofjustice.com, guys, and it will help you. I'm telling you. I hope my ASMR community will see and understand what I'm saying here. I hope you guys understand what the nonsense I kind of said. Or not nonsense, it is sense, what I've said. I'm going to be real with you guys. We're just humans, When you're pushed to the limit, that's how we are. Some people are, But I hope you understand why I said those things, like stabbing and all that nonsense. Or not nonsense, but, those kind of horrible things, basically. Not that I did it, nor do I ever plan on doing it. I just, when you're just all red, basically, seeing all red or whatever, that's what happened, So. So anyways, this is tough. Oh yes, and this is Gangnam this time in Korea, not Namyangju, but Gangnam, right? So I was living in the most expensive city in South Korea. Somehow the rent was only $700, so I was able to afford it and live there, right? I had 2 puppies and whatever, right? And then so I was living there, and then This is where I saw the polka dot man with the pretty girl or whatever that he, like, I said go ahead and eat her or whatever. I was mental basically once more, you know. and so anyways, with that being said though, what else is there? Yes, they're saying that I have fans. I don't know who it is. Like, you know, fans on YouTube, like, because I'm an ASMR artist or a vlogger or whatever. Like, that kind of fans, basically. Like, I'm a celebrity, you know? And there would be, like, girls, like, white girls that are young. They'll be, like, screaming. They'll be like, ah, it's Daniel, you know? And stuff like that. And, like, these guys will try to block them from meeting me because there's so many of them. Or some kind of nonsense. Or sense, or whatever, you know? I experienced so much. You know? I don't know what it means. I feel like there's some good in this stuff that's happening. You know? Like in Virginia. I don't know, maybe I just felt good, maybe. But what is the fans part? And what is the, you know, in Virginia part, you know? I feel like something was supposed to happen that was epic and good, you know? But something bad happened instead, basically. I wonder what the truth is. I really am curious what was supposed to happen to me. Well, anyways, guys, I'm gonna take a break. I've talked for 56 minutes, long time. A lot of stories, many AI cartoons, fictional, that's non-fiction, and I'm saying my mom again, but people through my glasses, right? As like holographic, not holographic, but not holographic. What am I saying? Like, kind of like ghostly, kind of like spiritual spirits, basically, is what I meant. Spirits. I'm seeing that. I've been seeing that years ago too. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what that means. But, you know, all kinds of stuff, man. One man to see, you know, experience. I don't know what other stuff is in the underground or database or wherever they have this, you know, here in the U.S. It's nasty, man, you know. It's crazy. I was so depressed. I remember, like, in high school or middle school, I can't remember which school, you know, year it was, when I learned that of what Nazis did to, you know, Jewish people and citizens, basically, like massacre and testing and all kinds of horrendous things, you know. I was depressed when I learned about that. When I learned about that, the Nazis being sent to the U.S., like, I was like, are you serious, you know? I was like, what? You know what I mean? What about those guys that were looking for the Nazis to hang them, basically? Which they did, some of those guys, you know? But what about the Americans that brought them here because to study science or whatever? Man, F science, when there's plenty of smart Americans that know the same thing, basically, possibly, or if not, you know? I don't get it. It's just crazy, you know? Yeah, Werner von Braun's got a small little grave, but, you know, nothing big still or anything, but still, you get what I mean? It's dangerous. And we can't just blame the Nazis only. Who brought them? The Americans. You know, with the Al-Qaeda friends. The Americans. Not the good Americans, the bad guys, obviously. You know? But they're sadly Americans too, you know? Sadly. But anyways, yeah. Oh, I wish I could, like, one punch man them, you know, right in their freaking skulls. Those imbeciles that did this to me and my family, just cracked their skull open, you know. Or that Bruce Lee, I think, or was it Ip Man? That one scene when his rival is on the ground, basically, and he's like this, Ip Man or something like that, and he just bang, you know, right at the rival, and then ends him, basically. That kind of this freshness, you know. It's really sad that we're all from Adam, though. Adam and Eve, you know. This whole world is doomed. Anyways. Alright, guys. I talked for a long time. I wish to talk more, but I don't know what else to talk about. Yeah. I'll probably make an ASMR video soon. I'm gonna eat dinner with my dad at 7. I wanted to make a mukbang video. Mukbang, basically, the eating, you know, videos. that satisfies people from, you know, eating good food and whatnot. Increase your appetite or something maybe. But I don't know, because my dad's eating with me, so it's kind of tough for me to film at that time. But anyways, that's it, y'all. Make sure, like I always ask, 3 things, guys. 3 things. What is it? Subscribe, like, and comment. Make sure, Bruce Wayne and Yao and Yeshua guys, to subscribe, like, and comment my videos, because you know how hard I'm trying to think positively every time, guys. You guys gotta make an account on YouTube somehow, you know, and like my videos and comment and subscribe. I will be truly thankful. I'll be like, wow, it's not that, you know, hard to believe that that could happen possibly, you know. Will be cool. All right, guys, signing out. Salute once more. All right, bye.